What's going on, guys? NorCal Rifleman here with a quick little tabletop review of the Magpul Bev Block. This is a tool, very useful tool, that if you're working on a AR-15 upper or lower, you want to get one of these guys. Reason is because you can use this to set a upper on a vise with this end right here. On this end, this part right here, it's actually metal and it goes right into the back of the barrel. It locks in there. As you can see all the teeth around here. And in the back, you'll see this little piece right here. This is where your bolt carrier will go to secure it in place, pretty much, so there's no wiggle back and forth. So pretty much it has a little O-ring. The way that you use this, I'll show you right now. So if you want to use it to work on an upper, you're going to set this part right here down on your vise, like so. Close it up nice and tight. Then once that's on there nice and tight, what you'll do is, obviously make sure the firearm's clear before you mess with any firearm. You're going to take out the charging handle and the bolt carrier out of the upper, and you got the upper, slide it over the tool and back, and it'll lock the back of the barrel right there. I've already disassembled this bolt carrier group here prior to the video, but pretty much you disassemble your bolt carrier like this. You remove the bolt out of the carrier, and then this part right here is going to slide over the back. And if you remember the little O-ring in the back, we'll make a pretty good seal with this to give this better stability, because right now, as you can see, it's pretty wobbly. So to give more stability, you slide the bolt carrier in there in the back, press it in, and just like that, see how much more firmer it is. Well, it also comes with these little pins that you would slide right here where the takedown pin would go once it's on the lower receiver. I noticed this is kind of rough to get in there, so if you do have like a little hammer or something, I don't know what I did with my gunsmith hammer, but I got this little rubber mallet. This will work as well. Punch the pin in right through the hole. There you go, just like that. As you can see, it's pretty secure. So from here, you could go ahead and work on, removing your rail, disassembling the gas system, removing the barrel, and whatnot. This is a pretty sturdy tool, man, for what it is. Really, it's not that expensive and it works just great. I'll be replacing this Atlas R1 rail on this guy pretty soon. This is my 10-year blackout. I'll be throwing a Midwest Industries quad rail in here, one of their T-series rails, the combat series rails they have. And I'll do a video on that just to show you guys how to do it. But I'm really excited for this little tool. It works really great. It's not a whole lot of wobble. There is some wobble, but it's a pretty solid lockup. Like there won't be any stress directed towards the upper receiver when torquing down a barrel nut because of the way this is designed. So it works pretty good. So now that I've showed you how to use it to work on an upper, I'll show you how to use it to work on a lower, which is much more simpler. I noticed that this pin right here is kind of a pain to take out. So the way you remove it is grab like this is an Allen wrench, but you could grab a punch or whatever, and you go from this end right here, and you're just gonna punch it out of there. Comes right out after you punch it with something. I'm gonna lose that guy. It comes with 3 more of those, so if you lose one, it's cool. And it comes with 2 more O-rings besides the one that's already installed. So pretty much you slide this forward a little bit, and then you're able to pull out your bolt carrier and remove your upper carefully. You don't want to mar anything up. Alright, so now that I showed you how to use that for an upper receiver, using it for a lower receiver is much more simpler. So pretty much you take it out of the vise, you flip it upside down, just like this. By the way, the vise I'm using is just a cheap vise that I got from Harbor Freight, but it's really useful, so I highly recommend it. It wasn't that expensive. I got it for about 35 bucks, close to 40 bucks out the door. So you lock it into the vise just like this, and pretty much just grab your lower receiver and slide it right over. There you go. So it stays on there pretty well. There's not much to it really, you know, and to take it out of there, you just press your mag release and you're able to pull it right out. This right here will work well. It will allow you to, you know, work on your lower receiver, or if you're building one, it'll help you, you know, install the parts in there, you know, whether it's the buffer tube, stock, you know, castle nut in the back, trigger assembly. I think I'm gonna find this really helpful when it comes down to installing a roll pin. This is the Aero Precision M4E1 lower, which I really love because there's no roll pin involved for the bolt catch. It's a threaded set pin that you thread right in there, and it holds the bolt catch in there, so works really good. But if you do have to punch one roll pin through the little holes for a bolt catch for any other kind of lower receiver, then this will work really good. So all in all, this is a pretty good tool by Magpul. There's probably other videos of this thing on YouTube. This is honestly, that's how I found this tool, and I think it's really useful, man. If you have the funds to, you know, buy guns, then I would highly suggest you, you know, learn how to work on your own stuff. And it'll save you a lot more money once you buy other things, you know. You don't need a whole lot, and again, you don't need to buy like high-end tools. Like I said, this Harbor Freight vise wasn't that expensive, and it's currently sitting on my Harbor Freight workbench that I bought. I bought the one that has the pegs in the back, the peg holes in the back, has the light on top, 2 drawers, pretty solid workbench to use. And yeah, I mean, in the long run, this is gonna save me a lot of money. You know, me being able to do my own stuff. You know, just make sure that when you do anything, you do your research really well, so that you torque everything down to spec how it should, and you don't have any oopsies later on, you know. So yeah, all in all, I'm really excited for this little product, man. It's not that expensive. You get it for about 50 bucks, somewhere around there. Depending on where you get it, you could always order online for a little cheaper. But yeah, this is pretty much it, man. This little tool was built really well for what it is. There's a lot more other tools you could use, but I mean, this is a no-brainer because you can use this for an upper or lower receiver. So I think it's a good tool to have, you know, if you work on your own stuff. It's built well. This part right here that goes into the back of the barrel is made out of metal. This part right here that goes into the carrier, the bolt carrier, it's polymer, and it has the little O-ring. It comes with 2 more O-rings in case this one gets jacked up, and it comes with 3 of these little pins that you drive through this guy for the upper. So it works really well. Yeah, man, I mean, for the money, for what you'll save in the long run, I highly recommend getting something like this, because it'll definitely help out a lot when you're building a lower or an upper. So yeah, I highly recommend this. I will be doing a video using this guy to install a new quad rail. Well, a new rail, but it's gonna be a quad rail for my 300 blackout build here. I really like this Atlas 1, this Atlas R1, you know, rail here. But I'm not really a big fan of M-Lock so much compared to quad rails. I know they're a little heavy, you know. This is really, really light, but I mean, you know, if you can't lift the gun up, then if you have a problem with that, then yeah, you should probably do a little bit more exercising. But yeah, all in all, definitely a good tool to have, you know. So go get yourself one.